need to say goodbye to Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Cash App because FedNow is coming and you don't have a choice. FedNow is a payment service by the government that your bank will have to sign up for, which is the first step to make the dollar digital. Now, how does this work? Well, if you buy something on Amazon, your money won't go directly to Amazon anymore. It will first go through the Fed's account and then go to Amazon. This means the government will know everything you use your money for, and if they want to, they can reject any purchase you make, take money out whenever, and decide what you can and can't spend your money on. Yes, it will be faster for payments to settle, easier to get stimulus, and lowers costs that you have to pay to your banks, but your privacy is gone. So is it truly worth it? And guess what? You don't even have a choice to participate or not. Our banks are the ones who will decide. You need to say goodbye to Venmo.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Kal all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well, who taught me this 100% truth. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Pushing this word, believing in this word. All right, you men, as well as you few sisters that do listen and learn. And we're inching closer and
Zelle,
closer
PayPal, and Cash
to the implementation of FedNow, which is set to be implemented July 1st. And as this man explained in the video, when you make your purchases, it's going to go and be filtered through this FedNow app. See, what the so-called white man is after is total control. Beyond total control, he's after God-like control. He wants to be the Most High. It's not going to stop with money. It's going to spoil over into biometrics. It's going to spoil over into food, healthcare, population control. He wants to be the Most High. He wants to control every aspect of life of every human being on the planet Earth. The banks are all in on it. Joe Biden is not the leader of the free world. Okay? Joe Biden is actually receiving orders from what is known as the hidden government. Okay? The workers of iniquity, the Bible calls them in Psalms, the 64th chapter, which today you would know them as the so-called Illuminati, the top international banking families, you know, the 13 royal families, whatever you want to, however you want to put it, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, DuPonts, the elites of the so-called white man, which are the biblical Edomites. This is their plan to get control. And see, it starts with the CBDC, which stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. Why is it central? Because all the money is going to be centered and flow through that bank. And this is a digital system, which means that you no longer have tangible money where you can say, look, I got 10 ounces of gold, so I have $20,000, you know, and this is what I have because it's right here in my bag. Okay? Now, you no longer have something tangible that you can hold, that you can say, look, I have proof that I have this. Now you're transitioning to an age where you're just going to have numbers on the screen. That's it. You're going to have numbers on the screen. And if somebody wakes up one day and says, you know what, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to delete, you know, different accounts. I'm going to hack into this system and I'm going to delete different accounts and I'm going to empty accounts. You have no proof, really, besides the fact, the transaction statements, that you are owed that money, or that money belongs to you, or that you didn't actually spend that money. You see? And so that's where I foresee problems, which these problems are intentional. I foresee problems like that happening where people are getting hacked, their accounts are getting, you know, their money is missing, you know, because it's just numbers on the screen. And so that's going to give them an excuse to say, well, look, this way, if you take this CEEBEEDEECEE, if you take this SIP, this mark, this charagma, which is the Greek word for mark in Revelation 13 and 16, if you take it, you no longer have to worry about being hacked. You no longer have to worry about wondering, if you or the bank no longer has to worry about wondering if you actually made the purchase or if somebody else, because you got your money in your hand now. So there's no way for somebody to, take your hand and make a purchase for you. This is the last major prophecy. This is the last major prophecy that needs to come to pass before World War III and the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, which is the implementation of a digital currency, which is going to be predicated upon a mark. It's Isaiah chapter 42, verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. You see, so there are new things. There's a completely new system, unlike any system that has ever been on the world stage. As far as a digital money system that's not predicated upon money that you can actually hold and touch. That's never been done before. And yes, you can hold and touch this money, but it's going to be a CEEBEEDEECEE in your hand. You're going to have to take a CEEBEEDEECEE in your hand in order to take it. Which that, by you doing that, you're pretty much sacrificing yourself unto the system. And you're bowing and worshiping the system. You're worshiping the beast by complying. You see, anybody who, let me go here. This is Isaiah chapter 36, verse 6. It says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. And our people, see, that historically this is referring to the time where the king of Israel, I believe it was Hezekiah. Let me see. Yeah, so I believe it was King Hezekiah. He trusted in Egypt, meaning the physical land of Egypt. He trusted in getting help from them for the war instead of getting help from Yahweh Shemel Shai. And, Egypt wasn't going to help them. But this is a, twofold verse. This scripture right here has multiple meanings. So when it says, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, what is Egypt prophetically to the Israelites? Well, Egypt prophetically is the place of their captivity, the place of their slavery. And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you were slaves here in the Americas, mainly United States of America, the Caribbean islands. But really, all of the Americas, from Canada all the way down to the southern tip of South America. And our people, they trust in Egypt. They trust in this system. Because our people, let me play this again.
Buy to Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Cash App because
He said you need to say goodbye to Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Cash App. Those are all apps and money services that our people use and they trust in. You see? And so that trust and that commitment to the system, the majority of our people are gonna maintain that. When the Fed now is implemented on July 1st, majority of our people, they're not going to say, this is too much government. That's how Edomites think. Our people, they have no idea what Edomites are even talking about when they talk about the government is too much government, not enough people, or the government's getting too strong, or, like he said, you get convenience, you get your money faster. It'll be easier for them to dish out stimulus checks, which only further kills whatever currency you're using, by you just printing out money and creating new money. That just further devalues whatever currency you're using. Now, like I said, the majority of people, they're going to continue to want to participate in this system. That's why the Lord said that my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. Because our people, they're gonna assimilate. Well, he said that you're not gonna have a choice all of us are going to have the FedNow app, or all of us are going to need to have the FedNow app in order to participate in this system. And we don't know how long, if they're going to, when they implement the FedNow, we don't know if they're going to implement the CEEB then, or we don't know how long between the time that they implement the FedNow to the time that they implement the CEEB. Because I don't know, I'm foreseeing that brothers are going to have to use this FedNow thing, you know, as long as we can use it. And then there's going to come a point in time where they're going to implement the CEEB, and they're going to link the FedNow to the CEEB and all of that. And obviously, brothers are we're not gonna trust in this Egypt, this broken reed. You know, we're not gonna trust in this. We're not gonna lean on that. It says in Isaiah 36:6, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed." Let me go to this word, broken reed. Okay, Salakia. This is Isaiah 36:6, the word broken reed, or the word reed.
Strong's H, 7070. Kaneh. Kaneh.
Right, it says a reed, stalk, bone, balances. It says derived meanings: measuring rod, reed, tube, a rod, resemblance of a rod, a reed. It says a cane, a reed, right? A cane, which is something that you use to help support you, to help you walk, you see, to help you get through. You use a cane to help you get along your way. And that's what our people are using this system. They're literally leaning and relying on the system and the benefits that come from the system. Even if in order to get the benefits, you have to denounce your nation. You have to denounce family structure. You have to, put your baby daddy on child support. Whatever it takes for our people to benefit and lean on this system and receive the benefits from it, they're willing to do it. And spiritually, we know that Revelation 11 talks about arise, measure the temple, with the reed, with the measuring rod. And what does that mean? That means to teach the temple, to teach the Israelites. You see, and our people, they're being taught lies. They're being taught a broken reed. They're being taught a broken measuring stick. It says, Isaiah 36:6, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt," because along with the system of the MOTB, which is the MarkOTB, you also have Salakia. I lost my train of thought because I had got a phone call. Let me go here. Revelation 13. Oh, you have the image of the beast, right? So when you're trusting in the lies of this man's system, okay, and it tells you that in Isaiah the 28th chapter, that they have made lies their refuge, okay, here in Egypt. In Isaiah 31, it said that you trust in Pharaoh and in the shadow of Egypt. You see, our people, they trust in the philosophies that go along, not only the benefits, the money and all of that, but they also trust in the philosophies and things that are taught here. Because the things that have been taught in the decades leading up to this point where they're going to implement this new system, the things that have been taught to this society were taught to them to prep their minds to be receptive of this new system. You see? See, Satan hasn't just been teaching you shit, teaching you random shit for no apparent reason. No, everything he's been pushing on you, from genderless this and trans that and love is love and the technology push and everything he's been pushing on you is to prep you for the new world order, which is going to be predicated upon pure confusion and total control of the top international Edomite banking families, man. So let's get through this. Isaiah 36:6, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it." You see? That's what they're banking on, these Edomites. They're banking on that these people will be put in such a dire situation by all of the food processing centers that we're burning down, by the waters that we're contaminating, by the supply chain that we're destructuring, by the employment and unemployment, things that's going on in this country. The people are going to be put in such a dire situation when shit hits the fan, as they say, when all hell breaks loose, that they're trusting that they're going to lean on this system. And guess what? Once they lean on this system, it's in the minds of these Edomites, these top international bankers, okay, to pierce you. That's what's in their mind. Isaiah 36 and verse 6, I'm going to go to that word lean. The word lean, it says to lean, to rest, to support. Pop trunk. Oh, the hood. All right. It says to support, uphold, sustain. So that's what it is, man. The people that lean on the system, it's in the minds of this Pharaoh to pierce you. So let's go back. Isaiah 36 and 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand, right? Cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in his forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark and was pierced. Because when you go to the number of the beast, what's the number of the beast? These other camps, they always talk about the number of the beast. GMS never speaks about the number of the beast. Well, what's the number of the beast? 666. How do you say 666 in Greek? How do you say 666 in Greek? Do these camps even know? The word is chi, psi, stigma. Chi, 600, psi, 60, stigma, 6. What does the word stigma mean? What does the word stigma mean? Stigma, a mark of disgrace associated with particular circumstances, quality, or person. It says marks correspond. That was the first definition. Second definition says marks corresponding to those left on, it says Jesus, his name is Yahushua, body during the crucifixion, right? So a stigma is a physical mark upon the body. It said to have been impressed by divine favor on the bodies of Saint Francis. I don't know what that's talking about. Now, the third definition, it says a mark or spot on the skin. Now, you see it says the origin. Look at the origin. Origin, Greek, stigma, a mark made by a pointed instrument, a dot. You see? A pricking pointed instrument, kind of like a syringe. Kind of like a syringe. That's why when you go to the root word of charagma, the word is charax, which means what? A stake, a palisade. What is a stake? A long stick with a point at the end. So what is John the Revelator seeing that these words are being described to use what he's seeing when he's seeing people take the mark? He's seeing people take the mark. They're being poked and pricked, and a mark is put inside of them. And with that mark, they're buying and selling. That's what he's seeing. He's physically seeing this, man. I don't understand how these other camps are teaching that you got a spiritual mark of the beast coming. Ain't no spiritual mark of the beast coming, man. Now, if you spiritually worship this beast, then you're going to take the physical mark, which is the only mark of the beast is a physical mark. Put it that way. So the word stigma means a pointed instrument. This is what is that referring to? It's referring to the delivery device of this radio frequency identification device. which is the MarkOTB. We have to speak in code, because if we don't speak in code, these videos won't stay up long. Isaiah 36:6, it says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. You see? Now let me go to this word pierce.
Strong's H 5344. Nakav. Nakav.
Naquab. It says pierce, perforate, bore, appoint. Right, bore, appoint, pierce. And that's what you would do to your slave. You would bore their ear with a what? A awl. That goes back to the law. That's another reason why this is the method that Esau is trying to use to pretty much defile the chosen the chosen Israelites. He's trying to use this method because this method is an ancient method of marking slaves for life. Deuteronomy 16. Deuteronomy 15 and 16. It says, and it shall be, if he say unto thee, that he is referring to your servant. This is in the law. And it shall be, if he say unto thee, I will not go away from thee, because he loveth thee and thine house, and because he is well with thee. Then thou shalt take an awl. Now, I can Google awl, and we can see what an awl looks like as well. You see? Because an awl is what? An awl is a stigma. An awl is an instrument with a point used to prick, used to stick, used to puncture, used to pierce, used to bore. That's what an awl is. Google awl. AWL or AUL. Google awl, go to images and see what pops up. You tell me if that looks like the same delivery device for the radio frequency device that they put in your hand, man. Deuteronomy 15 and 17. So your servant, he loves you. He doesn't want to leave. He rather just serve you for life. What would you do to say, okay, this is my servant for life. He's locked in. He belongs to me now. No longer do these children belong to the Heavenly Father. These children are going to belong to me. It tells you in Jeremiah 50 that the children of Judah and the children of Israel were oppressed together, and he refused to let them go. It tells you in Ezekiel that they believed that we were given into their hands to consume. They actually believed that we were given into their hands so that they can consume us, and that they could get the birthright and the blessing back. See, Esau actually thinks that the Heavenly Father has it set up for him to get it in the end. It's not for you. Deuteronomy 15 and 17. Then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. Also unto thy maidservant shalt thou do likewise. Now, if I read this in the NLT, it says, in that case, take an awl and push it through his earlobe into the door. After that, he will be your servant for life. So in order to mark a servant for life in the ancient world, according to the law, which the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemel Shai, he recognizes the law. Even to this day, the law stands in its power. So what Esau is going to do, he's going to use our own law against us. That's why Scripture says in Psalms 50 that what is thou to do to take my covenants in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and cast thy words behind it. You see? It says, then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear into the door. Let's go to this word thrust, which says Nathan, which means to put, to set, to give, to grant. Says to give over. Let's see. Let's see, what scripture is that? Deuteronomy 15. See if it has anything. Okay, yeah, I don't really see much here in the County Lexicon, so let's go back. This is Deuteronomy 15. I'm going to go to that word all.
Strong's H 4836. Matsea. Matsea.
It says maratazai. It says a boring instrument. A boring instrument. What do the word stigma mean? To bore. What does the word pierce mean? To bore. How is this mark going to be implemented? Subdermally, with a piercing instrument. With a boring instrument, with the awl. Revelation 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. When you go to that word forehead, the word in the Greek is metapon. Metapon. Meta means before or forehead. Or Slakia. Meta means let me go into it real quick because I don't want to mess that up or misspeak. Revelation 13:16. Let's go to that word foreheads.
Strong's G 3359. Metopon. Metopon.
Right, so metapon, it says the space between the eyes, the forehead, which is pretty much your brain. Your brain, okay? Your brain. And they have something, Elon Musk has created something called a Neuralink brain C-hip, which it links up to your brain. And many miracles can be performed by that, okay? Many miracles can be performed by that mark that goes in your forehead, in your metapon. Now, if you go to the root word of this word metapon, the root word is meta, which you have something called the MetaVerse, which was created by Mark Zuckerberg, who is of those elite families. He's just a lower level, but he's of those elite families. He created something called MetaVerse, which is pretty much, I've never been on it. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I never used the technology, but from my understanding, it's pretty much a virtual reality world, okay? You've seen movies like The Matrix, you know, and other movies where Esau has these people hooked up to computers. And, you know, he's just collecting data. He's collecting thoughts and brain waves and all of that, you know. So all of this, he has a crazy, vast goals and dreams and aspirations as far as what he wants this new world order to be. And one of the main mottos of the new world order is going to be, you will own nothing and be happy. You will own nothing and be happy. I heard about they raised the mortgage rates, or not the mortgage rates, but the interest rates for people with high credit scores. So all the people with high credit scores are pretty much complaining because they believe that they're being taxed. Okay, they believe that they're being taxed, you know, to pretty much pay for the people with bad credit. You know, they believe that they're being taxed because people with bad credit don't pay up. You know, so now they're contemplating, well, should I even get a good credit score? Which all ties into you own nothing and be happy, because it pretty much inclines you to not want ownership or not strive for ownership. You know, and I saw another comment. The guy said there was pretty much an attack on the middle class, because middle class, which there's pretty much no more middle class. You just got the lower class and the upper class. But the lower class, they you know, Jake and, you know, everybody in general pretty much uses their credit score. They try to build up their credit score. And I don't understand that shit. I don't understand the credit shit. But see, that's the thing. You got people like me who don't understand the credit shit, and then they about to come with the social credit shit, you know? Because that's what they really want, which is the social credit score. Maybe I'll do a video on that, Lord willing. You know, because it's all going to tie in. It's all going to tie in. Now, the word meta means with, behind, after. It says, right, because it's going to be behind your skin. It's going to be behind, it's going to be in your forehead, but it's going to be behind your skin, in your brain. For those that take it. Now, I perceive that the more common folk, if you will, the lower class are going to take the chip in their hand, while the people that have a lot of money, you know, they're going to have the luxury of being able to get one in their brain. You know? And go to this word meta. Meta. It says word forming element of Greek origin, meaning after, behind, among, between. Changed, altered. Right. So it says the second definition says changed, altered, and that's what they want to do. They want to change the system. They want to alter your reality by putting you in a virtual reality. 3, it says higher, beyond, and that's the thing. Higher and beyond. This is their goal. They want to go higher and beyond. They want to set their nest amongst the stars and be like the Most High. You know, amongst the stars of the sides of the north. I think that's Isaiah 14, roughly paraphrasing. They want to go higher and beyond. Meta is them proclaiming that they're going to go beyond. When you go to the word miracles and revelation, it says transcending the common course of nature. Transcending the common course of nature, which means they're going to do things that is not supposed to be done normally under normal circumstances in nature. For example, if somebody was born blind, normally if they're born blind, they will die blind. But this man transcends the common course of nature, and when he put a mark in your forehead and now you're no longer blind, now he's transcending the common course of nature. Now he's going higher and beyond. Meta. That's why they changed Facebook to MetaVerse. MetaVerse holds more power. That word holds more power. Matter of fact, let me look up this word verse. It says line or section of a psalm and canticle. It says to turn, bend. It says the metaphor of plowing or turning from one line to another, to turn. So the word verse goes into turning, altering. It also goes into a song, obviously. It says the English New Testament first was divided fully into verses, meaning metrical composition. So they want to have a harmonious arrangement, okay, of minds in this virtual reality world. But it all starts, and I'm kind of straight away from the topic. It's like a two-topic
Fed's account,
lesson.
and then
But it all starts with the CBDC and this digital currency, man, because people are connected and tied to their money. Especially in this world, people are connected and tied to their money. And they don't want to lose their money. You know? So Lord was edifying, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. The Wadi Habashim Yahshua, forgive me, Spirit, do this lesson. I pray you was edifying to remember the Lord's elect. Kwam Yashua, Shalom, Abba.